Just after Christmas in 2002, a National City mother was gunned down outside her home. Nearly 23 years later, her killer still hasn't been caught. Now, detectives are renewing their push for this case to find Cynthia Peppers' killer. ABC 10 News reporter Danny Miskell spoke with the National City Police Department and Cynthia's daughter about what this cold case needs to finally be solved.
In this National City neighborhood, known by locals as Hatfield, is a murder case that's been buried but not forgotten. The killing of Cynthia Peppers. It was a Saturday night, just 3 days after Christmas. Family and friends were hanging outside of Cynthia's home on Mann Avenue near Alpha Street. The mother of 4 was just returning home from a quick trip to the grocery store.
Through the investigation, we learned that 2 vehicles had driven up and parked on the side of the house on Alpha Avenue.
Detective Mark Siegel with the National City Police Department has been working Cynthia's case for nearly a decade.
The vehicles were fairly distinct vehicles that had pulled up. One was a red Datsun 280Z, and the other was a gray Honda Accord. And they pulled up in tandem. People got out of both vehicles with firearms and shot at the people standing in front of the house.
Detective Siegel says out of the huge crowd outside the Peppers house, 4 people were shot. Cynthia was the only one who did not survive. She took a bullet straight to her head as she was walking from her car to the front door of her house.
This is the spot where Cynthia Peppers parked her car, and she had just gotten back from the grocery store. She could have never have known that as she was unloading her groceries, she would take her final breath. She was only 39 years old.
My mom was a hardworking mom. That's always the first thing that comes to mind.
This is Naisha Allen. She's Cynthia's daughter.
She took very good care of us. She was funny, always laughing, life of the party, caring, compassionate, and very supportive.
Naisha said she was just a few houses down that night, visiting with her grandmother, when her mom was shot and killed.
I actually heard the gunshots, and I just remember at one point looking at her, and she was shot in her head. And I did not expect to be picking out my mom's casket at 19 years old while I'm home for break when we're supposed to be celebrating Christmas.
One of the other 3 people shot that night was the driver of this ice cream truck parked in the Peppers driveway. It would go on to give this homicide a notable name.
The ice cream truck homicide. The ice cream truck that was on the driveway when the shooting occurred was somewhat of an icon in the neighborhood at the time.
Both Detective Siegel and Naisha believe the shooters were targeting someone else in the crowd of people hanging outside of the Peppers house that night.
It was a lot of people out there, and my mom was an innocent bystander.
Detective Siegel says that one of the many reasons why Cynthia Peppers' case went cold was because her shooting was a part of a string of shootings at the time where Southeast San Diego gangs were retaliating back at one another.
There were other shootings in the same week that dimmed Cynthia's spotlight in the media and public quickly. Detective Siegel says the ties that Cynthia's shooting had to gangs were another big hurdle in finding her killer.
I'm confident that there are plenty of people who know who perpetrated this crime, but I still believe that people are afraid to come forward and provide information.
Detective Siegel believes shell casings recovered from the scene of the crime could be a valuable clue.
There have been advancements in DNA technology and forensic evidence, and we're attempting to resubmit some of the evidence that was collected at the time to have it evaluated with those new technologies.
Detective Siegel also tells me he plans on re-interviewing some of the original witnesses and persons of interest.
I feel it's a necessary step that must be taken to try to resolve this homicide.
After 23 years, Detective Siegel hopes someone will finally break their silence about who is responsible for the murder of Cynthia Peppers. That answer would mean the world to Cynthia's family.
I'm fighting for her justice. I'm fighting for closure. Not just for me, this is for my family.
In National City, Danny Miskell, ABC 10 News.
If you have any information about the murder of Cynthia Peppers in 2002, you can submit an anonymous tip to San Diego Crime Stoppers. There's up to $1,000 reward.